Hi, my name is Jay Miller and I'm a storyteller. I'm second-generation storyteller. My father, Joe, was a magnificent teller of tales. He had my friends and I, my cousins, sitting around on a Saturday afternoon at the table listening, rapt attention. Yeah, what happened next, Joe? What happened next? So I'm a very fortunate kid to have grown up with tales. Do you tell your kids tales? Did your parents tell you tales when you were a kid? Well, I highly suggest it. It's a really great way to connect with the people you love and share some really great stories. So my work is also physical. So you see, I come to the theater from sports. I was a baseball player when I was little, but then when I heard that basketball bouncing, wow, music to my ears. And since I heard that basketball bounce, I've been a player, I've been a coach, I've been a scout, and I've been a sports writer. Let me tell you about the beginning of my mime career. See, my heart was broken. It was 1978. My wife had had enough of my immaturity, and she left. But she also left me with 3 children. So at the beginning of my career, I had a 7-year-old boy, Josh. Rebecca was 4, and Carly was a baby at 1.5. And it was the end of June. School had finished, and I sent both of the older kids to camp. And Carly came with me on my tours of summer camps. And the first show, she was sitting right at the front of the audience with a few teenage girls who were taking care of her. She was so cute. Come to my website, you can see her pictures. And as I was introduced and started my show, she went, yeah. The first 2 shows, at the end of the show, I was cleaning her diaper, changing her diapers. Really a great way. So my mime career has taken me traveling through many wonderful places. A few years ago, I toured Turkey. We flew from Budapest to Istanbul, took a car from Istanbul to the university in Samsun. Then we went to Erzurum, then to Trabzon, then all the way to the north in Kars. Wow, Turks are really friendly people, and they can cook, and so hospitable, so caring, so kind. If you ever get a chance, you travel to Turkey. Some years ago, I went to work in Bosnia and Herzegovina and Serbia after the Balkan Wars were over, and using arts and education to reintegrate the 3 different factions in Bosnia, the Serbs, the Croats, and the Bosniak Muslims. And it's very amazing how arts and culture and sport make people forget about their differences and brings them together. And that's why I've spent all my life in the arts, sports, and education. The different shows that I have, one is A Day at the Circus, total pantomime. I am the strong man, and so is the little kid in the audience. The kids become the elephants in the circus. They become horse riders. And tightrope walkers. So that is a day at the circus with total audience participation. Another is Miles West Environmental Detective, where I use slides, videos, dance, comedy to bring out the importance of keeping the endangered species still alive on the planet. High in a mountain, near a beautiful city, there lived a pond. And every day in the summer, when it was oh so very hot, a little boy would come. And he'd swim in the water. Recycling, reusing, reducing, and bringing the children on the stage to show the others how we can, as individuals, save our environment, our planet, to live. Another show is Jewish Tales. Shalom Aleichem, preacher, Shalom Aleichem. They shook his hand, they hugged him, and he walked into a banquet. He sat at the head of the table, and he was all his glory, to know how it feels to be revered, to be loved. And at the end of the drinking and the eating, the wise men of the town put the book in front of him, said, "Dear preacher, for years we have been pondering, we have been arguing, and still we have not come to a conclusion. Can you please explain this part in the Talmud?" Growing up in a Jewish family in New York and having a grandfather from Transylvania, I heard many a tale. That Jewish tales, gypsy tales, Indian tales, universal stories. I would love to share them with you. Marcel Marceau. In the early 80s, I was really fortunate at the beginning of my mime studies that Marcel Marceau, the master himself from Strasbourg, France, came to New York to play on Broadway. And for 6 weeks, I got to study with him from morning till the afternoon. In fact, my son was an actor, a young actor at the time. He was 11, and he, for 2 weeks, was in the class. He fell asleep a lot, but it was magnificent. In fact, the studio was not big enough to handle 120 people who came to study with the master. So the first day he tried to have half the class, then the other half the class. That didn't work. The next day he tried 20 people and then 20 more people, and it was difficult. So he wound up taking one man and one woman to be the demonstrators. And I was really fortunate to be chosen most of the days to be his guinea pig demonstrator. And at the moment that I was 33 years old, he was holding me in his arms, and we were doing this movement where you get up on your toes, and then you bend back, all the way back, still on your toes, and touch the ground with your head. And I was this close to doing it, but I couldn't get that much further, and he was holding me as my head touched the ground, and I looked up at the clock, 11:01 on April 21st. When I was 33 years old, the master himself was holding me in his arms. I took that as a sign. So, if you're interested to bring an exciting act to get your people thinking and feeling and participating, check my website out, jmiller.info. Give me a visit, give me a call. Email me at millermolnar. No, wait a minute, that's not my email, that's my Skype. We can Skype, we can talk on the phone, we can email, we can Twitter, we can chat, we can Facebook. No, I'm just kidding, I don't do all that stuff. I'm just having a good time because the camera's on.